Good morning. Welcome back to Unit 1, the Progressive Era. We're going to continue talking about the Progressive Era and Progressivism, as well as the goals. As many of you remember, Progressivism is that term that's applied to essentially a variety of responses to different economic and social problems due to rapid industrialization that was introduced in America. So the objective today is to understand the 4 goals of progressivism. Additionally, I want you to be able to summarize the progressive efforts to clean up the United States government and society. The 4 goals of progressivism include protecting the social welfare, promoting moral reform, creating economic reform, and fostering efficiency. The first goal of the progressive era was to protect the social welfare. Reformers really strove to improve urban problems and soften some of the effects of the industrialization. So they really worked with the government to help the people. Not to be associated with your local YMCA, that you go swim with your friends, or you go play basketball or work out. The YMCA, at least in regards to the progressive era, really stands for the Young Men's Christian Association, which opened up libraries, sponsored classes, built swimming pools and handball courts, and really strove to relieve some of those urban problems. The second goal of progressivism was to promote moral reform. So much like protecting social welfare, reformers wanted to improve the lives of poor people and began to offer host programs to uplift immigrants by improving their personal behavior. And they weren't just improving to improve, they were improving because it was the right thing to do. Now, one of the examples of a moral reform that was put into place was prohibition. And I'm sure that many of you have heard the term before, and we will talk about this a little bit more moving forward. But prohibition was that period of time when alcohol was completely outlawed. It was also known as the Noble Experiment. It was put into place to help reduce crime and corruption and solve different types of social problems. It also helped to alleviate a tax burden that was created by prisons and poorhouses. They really wanted to uplift individuals by getting rid of alcohol entirely. The third goal of progressivism was to create economic reform by improving wages and benefits. Now, the example that I'm providing you is called The Jungle, and it was a novel that was written by Upton Sinclair in 1905 that was actually written to expose labor abuses in the meatpacking industry, but it was food, not labor, that actually ended up concerning the public the most. His horrific description of the industry led to the passage of several different acts. One of them being the Pure Food and Drug Act and the Meat Inspection Act. While we don't have enough time today in class to go over this, we will talk about this more in live class and talk more about different types of economic reforms. The fourth and final goal of progressivism was fostering efficiency. It helped to establish the concept of scientific management, which was put into place to improve efficiency in the workplace by applying scientific principles to make tasks simpler and easier. As a result, workers became more productive and the amount of goods and services available to people really increased. I actually wanted to include the picture on the far right of a assembly line in the Ford flywheel factory. I'm not sure if any of your parents ever taught you this growing up. I know my parents said this a lot, was many hands make light work. And this picture and this assembly line really demonstrates how the more people work together and have a system put into place, the more work that gets done. Now that we have gone over the 4 goals of progressivism, I want to check your understanding. So please identify the 4 goals you learned about today and explain at least one of them. Again, we are going to go over this more in live class and talk a little bit further about each goal. Good luck!